economic challenges. I don't know the best way to fix those challenges. I don't think any one person knows the best way to fix those challenges. Communities need to decide for themselves how to address their challenges. But in Michigan, an experiment is underway to not do it that way. To say that we do not solve problems in America, at least some problems in America, we do not solve through the democratic process. We solve problems by stopping people from voting, by overruling locally elected officials, by putting people unilaterally in control of communities so they can make their own decisions without regard to the people. We're all familiar with the adage that those who would give up liberty for security deserve neither. What I have been reporting on in Michigan, and taking a lot of heat from the local mainstream Michigan press for reporting on, is I think a parallel idea. The idea of giving up a little bit of democracy for the sake of efficiency, giving up a little bit of democracy for the sake of some sort of technocratic solution to our problems, getting rid of a little bit of the American way of government in order to try to fix things through some other process. I think what's going on in Michigan is really, really, really important for the entire country. At one point this year, under the new expanded emergency manager law, the list of communities under consideration for being run this way would have put a majority of the African American population of Michigan under emergency manager rule. So effectively curtailing your local voting rights. Have you been doing something wrong with your local voting rights? Hundreds of thousands of signatures were gathered, enough to stop the current emergency manager law and put it on the ballot. Hey, remember the ballot? 2 people on the state election board blocked it from getting onto the ballot, saying maybe the font was too small on the petition. The print was too small. This is not over, that's going to court now. I keep getting told by a lot of people in the mainstream press in Michigan that Michigan doesn't mind these issues about voting rights. That Michigan doesn't mind, this isn't a story here, Michigan is sort of going along quietly with this, and the national media should butt out. I think the biggest story in American governance is in Michigan. It is an effort to experiment with abandoning part of the American form of government. But it is also the most interesting story in the country because in addition to that experiment, it is also a fight. An intricate, beautiful, undercover, dogged fight by the American people, by Michiganders, to keep that American form of government. The NAACP is right at the heart of this. From the national media perspective, I am eager to keep covering this. But as much as I'm covering what's happening in Michigan governance, I'm covering the way that Michigan is responding, the way that Detroit is responding. And to be here tonight to appreciate you is a great, great, great honor. Thank you for everything you do, and thank you for having me here tonight.
Again, Rachel Maddow, let's thank her one more time. Thank you, Rachel. She may have to exit real quickly because she has to catch a flight to get back to New York, and we promise we get her back on time, and we are, but we thank her so much. She doesn't really do this, and she's a very humble person, but she has a big job and a big responsibility. So we thank you for making Detroit a significant stop on your trail to do your job. God bless you. At this time, I'm going to ask the third Vice President of the Detroit branch NAACP, Ms. Marjorie Winters, to come with our presentation at this time. Ms. Winters.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good evening, freedom fighters. Tonight, it is my distinct honor to present one of our Great Expectations Awards. While many of us know Ms. Rhonda Walker as a popular, high-energy journalist and news anchor with impeccable style, few of us, however, are as familiar with the many ways in which she serves the greater Detroit community and the next generation of leaders. In addition to serving in various professional organizations and leadership capabilities, Ms. Rhonda Walker, through the Wanda Walker Foundation, has devoted her time, energy, and resources to empowering inner-city teen girls towards becoming strong, confident, successful, and moral future leaders. Her foundation teaches young ladies to respect themselves and others, walk with confidence, and to be both fearless and faithful. Ms. Walker not only teaches these critical principles, she also lives them. Quite honestly, I am not sure how she finds enough time in the day to do all these activities. A self-professed morning person who starts her day at 2:00 a.m. and makes over 100 appearances throughout the year for charitable organizations, you wonder how she gets any sleep, but when you see her, she does get her beauty rest. Matthew 7:20 says, "Just as you can identify a tree by its fruit, so you can identify people by their actions." Tonight, we honor Ms. Rhonda Walker for the lasting fruit her labor has yielded. We celebrate her many accomplishments and look forward with great expectation for the continued harvest. On behalf of President Reverend Wendell Anthony, the Executive Committee, and all the members of the Detroit Branch NAACP, it is my honor to present the 2012 Great Expectations Award to Ms. Rhonda Walker. Please join me in honoring her.
When I received a letter from Reverend Wendell Anthony, I assumed that he was asking me to do something related to the news business and asked me to speak out, change, do something. And when I read the note that said that we want to honor you, I couldn't believe it. I am tremendously humbled and thankful to the NAACP, to Reverend Anthony, to Donnell White, to the Executive Committee, and to everyone that saw fit to give me this incredible award. I thank you so much. I am truly humbled and honored. I want to congratulate the NAACP for this centennial. 100 years of fighting for our freedom and for equality. It is a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment, and I congratulate all of you that have worked so hard in your lifetimes to continue to keep the Detroit branch of the NAACP as strong as it is. Most importantly tonight, I do have to thank God, because 10 years ago, God bestowed upon me the purpose for my life. I was honored to get my career in television, the job I dreamed of as a child, and when I received that accomplishment initially with my first job as a traffic reporter, I knew there was something that God must expect me to do by giving me the job of my dreams. And 10 years ago, He told me, "Your purpose in life is to serve teen girls." And I am so thankful that I have this responsibility and this honor to make a difference in the Detroit community. I am so thankful for that. And I have to say that it was God that put this great expectation upon me, but when Reverend Wendell Anthony gives you the Great Expectation Award, I kind of wondered what's bigger? When Reverend Wendell Anthony wants you to do something, you know that's a big request. And I do think that this is a request upon me to continue the work that I do in the community and to continue serving the teen girls. I just want to say and acknowledge the two people that are my life's inspiration and the two people that are my role models, and they are my parents. They are here in the yellow section. If they could stand, Dr. Ronald Gillum and Harriet Gillum. They are the greatest parents in the world. And in my household when I was growing up, the expectation was that you graduate from high school, you get good grades, and you go on to college, and you accomplish your greatest dreams. I was encouraged, supported, and I believed that I could accomplish this. And I learned along the way through speaking at schools and talking to children in the city of Detroit that these same expectations are not placed on every child, and the belief that you can accomplish and realize your dreams are not placed on every child. And it is because of that that I put the responsibility on my shoulders to establish the Rhonda Walker Foundation. And the accomplishments that we've made by having a 100% high school graduation rate and a 100% college enrollment and college graduation rate among every child that completes our 5-year Girls into Women program. These are Detroit kids I'm talking about. That would not be possible without an outstanding board, mentors, volunteers that work tirelessly for me and for our kids. I want them to stand along with the teenagers of the Rhonda Walker Foundation that are here today. I love you and I thank you. In closing, I want to say the RhondaWalkerFoundation.org website is the place to go if you want to volunteer, mentor, or donate to an organization that has 100% volunteers, no paid employees. All of your dollars that you donate to the Rhonda Walker Foundation will help kids like that in the yellow section. I assure you of that. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and I hope that you will help us to continue to serve teens in the city of Detroit. Thank you, NAACP, for this honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we pause for an important introduction. Please join me in welcoming back to the stage our president, the Reverend Dr. Wendell Anthony, and tonight's keynote speaker, United States Attorney General Eric Holder.
Thank you, and again, we want to congratulate Rhonda Walker. Donnell, do I have power? We want to thank Rhonda Walker and her work for our community. Let's give her another hand. We appreciate that. At this time, I'm going to ask Executive Director Mr. Donnell White if he would come and present our second Great Expectation Award, a winner, Mr. Nabi, Attorney Nabi Ayad. Mr. White.
Thank you, Mr. President. To whom much is given, much is required. And so, with great expectations, we pause to honor someone worthy. Tonight, we honor the first Arab American awardee, a trailblazer. Expectations have been met. Tonight, we honor the founder of the Arab American Civil Rights League, building bridges with other communities and fighting the good fight. Expectations met. Today, we honor one who has provided indigent counsel for the least of thee in our communities. Expectations have been met. Today, we honor one who is working to break down racial barriers from communities throughout the state of Michigan. I believe expectations have been met. Today, one who served as the Civil Rights Commissioner for the state of Michigan, fighting for justice, equality for all people, regardless of race, regardless of nationality, regardless of religion, not because it was the right thing to do, but because it is the right thing to do in fighting for justice. So today we honor one who is a strong voice for justice, one who knows no boundaries. Today we set history as we celebrate 100 years in forging the relationship between our Arab brothers and sisters by honoring a true friend to the African American community, a true friend to the NAACP, and certainly a true friend of mine. Please join me in celebrating our 2012 Great Expectation Awardee, my friend, Attorney Nabi Ayad.
Thank you, Brother Donnell, for that amazing introduction. This is one person you absolutely have to keep your eyes on because he's going to do wonders. I promise you that. I want to thank my dear brother, Reverend Wendell Anthony, for being this dynamic leader he is. I am truly humbled and honored by this special award. Thank you, Rev. I want to thank my wife, Rhonda, who's been with me for 25 years, actually putting up with me for 25 years. Honey, if you can please stand up. I want to